Number one.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Jamie from the Collective here, and today I'm going to be showing you a Voice Drytron deck profile, and I'm also going to be showing you a combo tutorial on how to combo with the Drytron and the voice cards. And later on in the video, you'll see that like I go over the deck profile and explain my choices, but I just want to show you like what like a standard opening of like Alpha and Zeta can do. Keep in mind there's also like other combos like if you open like a low and an alpha or a zeta and a low, like you can still end on like the voice end board. But having alpha and zeta generally gets you to like I want to say like a pop two, an anomaly negate and a monster negate that steals. So and this one plays on the Nibiru. So I'm gonna go right ahead and show you that. So what you need for this is alpha and zeta. So you're gonna go alpha, tribute zeta, like pretty standard. Then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna grab the Benton. Now you'll tribute in the Benton with the Zeta, grabbing your Meteonis. Don't I play Prez, but you always grab Meteonis here. I know like some people send it with Cytheria, but there's really no need when you're doing this combo line. And now here what you do is you want to grab the low. So you grab the low, and this is two summons. Like if you think they have an imperm, like you can go for the beta and like bait that way, but um, yeah, like most of the time, like you're gonna be having like other cards to combo with, so it's really preference. But I usually overlay first, just to like try bait, because then at least I can end on like a voice end board, regardless. So yeah. Anyways, you want to go overlay from your beta. Then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna send the gamma. It's important here. You don't need to send delta. Like gamma's the only we need to really send. Now you're gonna normal summon the low, and you're gonna use low's effect, placing yourself the barrier. So let's just place that right here. And then you're going to go ahead and use the effect, grab your Cytheria, effect, you're going to go ahead and you're going to discard and you're going to send the Prez to grab yourself the Skull Guardian. Yeah, so here, like, you're on your fourth summon, and I know, like if you think they don't have Nibiru, or you know they don't have Nibiru, or they're not playing Nibiru. Like for instance, against like branded, most of the time they're not going to be playing Nibiru, so you can get a little bit greedy and get yourself some extra negates on top. But yeah, so if you think they're not Nibiru, you can just Meteonis, summon the Ben 10, and then you can go ahead and get like a search, like an orange light and a low for another negate in hand. But here we're under the assumption they have Nibiru, so we're going to go ahead and activate the Meteonis, and we're going to hard summon the Skull Guardian. Then we're going to use Skull Guardian's effect, and we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves the Cerevis. Now, grabbing Cerevis here is important because you need to keep the new beta on the field, and you need something to tribute for the Gamma that's engraved. So, like, here we're going to go ahead and just use Meteonis to add back. It's, like, kind of irrelevant when you add back, really. You could do it on the Gamma summon, but yeah. Anyways, you're going to go ahead and use Gamma, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to summon both this and the Drytron. Pretty like standard. And I think you can kind of see where this is like going now. So you overlay and you want to make the second copy of the new beta. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to use the Meteonis. You're going to ritual summon back the Cerevis. Like this, like it doesn't really matter what zone you put in either. Because like they can't really target anything as long as you have this up, so you're not really bothered. And now you're going to use both the new betas, both level 1, exceed 1, and you're going to overlay for the number F0, and then you're going to go into the Utopic Future Draco. So now here, Utopic Future Draco says when put activates a monster effect, you can detach material, negate activation, and then if it's on the field, gain control. So it's really important that you go for the F0 here, because you need to link off your Skull Guardian and your low into the Dynamondo, and that can generally, like in normal voices, if you overcommit, that can like get Nibiru, like you're kind of ended on no interruptions. Like if I went ahead and went for like Dynamondo without like, and there was like an IP, it was like an IP Dynamondo Cerebus, and then I get nibbed, they held the nib, then it's like I lose on the spot, right? So really important that you make this before committing to the Dynamondo line, in my opinion. So you're gonna go ahead and use Dynamondo, and then you're gonna pass turn. Your opponent's gonna take their turn. They don't have anything to draw as a priority. You're gonna go ahead and summon the Skull Guardian. You're gonna go ahead and summon low. Get yourself the barrier. Sorry, not the barrier, Radiance. And now you have uh, now your whole field can't be targeted because F-Zero is also a light. So they can't target your field with card effects. They can only attack this guy. So like these guys are safe. You have a pop 2 from Radiance, or you also have the press. So if they do remove this somehow, then you summon Skull Guardian, and then you're gonna go ahead and use the trap, shuffle back the Meteornus, and then summon back out another low. Now you have your Omni Negate back online. So it's up to you to decide how you want to spend this. But like if not, you have a pop 2, and then an inherent summon negate, an Omni negate, and a monster negate that can steal. So genuinely, like if you put this board up going first, um, like this is like usually enough to win. I know like of Alpha and Zeta we usually do like more degenerate stuff. Like you can do like the Mayakashi turn skip, you can do like the Chaos Max lock, but you know I think it's a really good blend of both engines. Like the issues I have with the pure versions, like that is a very susceptible to hand traps, and in a format where there's a lot of hand traps are being played right now, these two engines, like in my opinion, is better than pure Drytron, this format at least. I don't know if it's better than pure voices, but it's definitely like a really cool deck. So, because Drytron, like if you're just playing pure Drytron and you get like nibbed at a certain point, or you get like ashed on a certain point. Sometimes you have the extension to put up a decent board, and I know like there is ways to play around that, but you have to usually open like pretty good, right? But at least for like this hand, like like there's been times where I can normal summon the low, and they'll input it, and then you can just play with your Drytrons and like put up like an Appaloosa. You can even search a Skull Guardian later on with the alpha, so it's not terrible. But yeah, so this is why like it's not the strongest of the M boards, but it's definitely like really good and against Snake Eyes. If they normal summon the Ash, then you can just steal this, or the Poplar steal it. Now they don't get any material engraved. And if they summon the Witch, you just Survey this, bounce back to hand, and destroy it. And you can also, if not, you can also just hold and pop. But yeah. So that's it for the combo tutorial. This was just off Alpha and Zeta. So if you want me to show you a different combo line, where like low and Alpha or low and Zeta, let me know. I can maybe link some replays in the description or in the comments, and you guys can just play around with it to your liking and build your own boards, I guess, because this is just like a standard line that plays under the Biru and puts up the most interruptions. So yeah, that's going to be it for the combo tutorial, guys. I'll see you back in the deck profile.
What's up, guys?
All right, we're
What's
ready.
up,
All right,
guys?
3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, what's up, YouTube? Today we're with the collective doing a deck profile for Drytron Silent Voice. Yes, the best
Woo!
deck in the. Woo! Anyway, here we have today with us Jamie.
Yo, hello everyone. It's Jamie from the Collective, and today we're going
He-
over the best Drytron deck profile ever. It beats everything in the
So,
format.
Jamie, let's give some background context, right? Jamie's been playing Drytron for so long,
Yeah, I need help.
and
I need
he's
help.
he kind of got me playing Drytron as well. So I one day decided to like try and bring these two decks together, Drytron and Silent Voice, because I thought they were cool. So we kind of worked this out together,
Yep.
and it's fun. We can get into the profile now.
Okay, so let's start off with the basics. Um, 3 alpha, 3 zeta. Now, I see like some builds like that play the voiceless shit. Um, they they actually they don't play the zeta like at 3. They maybe play at 2. Because like your some people's goal is to just actually like use this as an engine to add some additional interrupts onto the voiceless stuff. But I think you still need to play 3 Zeta, especially in a 45 card build. So I personally wouldn't cut Zeta because like Alpha and Zeta is full combo under Nibiru. So I think it's like crucial that you still play 3 Zeta. Then we play 2 Gamma, simply because one is not enough. If it gets like banished, you have no way to recycle it. So, and this enables you, Gamma enables you to go for a spicy combo that lets you play under Nibiru. That we can go over later. And then 1 Delta. So you're playing Pot of Prosperity, so the Delta like is just an extra name, doesn't really do much.
We do need the fourth name because it helps us extend,
Yeah.
especially going second.
One Meteornus. There's like If you weren't playing two Skull Guardian, you'd probably would just play two Meteonis because the Prez never comes up. But because we're playing like Ceravis and two Skull Guardian, you want to play the Prez. So if they do clear your Skull Guardian, and they don't clear the low, then you can just, Prez, banish, special Skull Guardian. Now you have your negate online. So yeah, that's the reason you play one Meteonis. Then you play three Emergency, just consistency. Same with Nova. Three Ben 10, of course. Ben 10's always.
Mandatory, Natasha, mandatory.
Yeah.
This is so standard.
The
No,
Natasha, just real quick, like Natasha is crucial in this deck. For like breaking boards going second. So um, I play Natasha over Draconids. As you know, we don't play Draconids in this build, simply because you're already playing these high level ritual monsters. Sorry, high attack ritual monsters. So these always require two tributes if you're like using Meteonis to ritual summon and you're not using Superior. So I don't think you can justify playing Draconids, simply because it makes it so if you have to go for Draconids, you really can't go for the voiceless lines as consistent. So Natasha is just there to help you like uh, OTK go in second or break a board go in second. Three low. So I was on
because
two.
it's a good normal summon and it's the only one we use anyway, so why not just open it instead of searching it?
Typically, you play low. It's a level one. If you open like a ritual and a name, you don't really care if they imperm your low because you can just overlay from your beta anyways and then get like a combo, at least end on like an Apollosa and an IP. So it's just a really good normal summon. You can like I've seen some people play just two low, but I think three is like mandatory. Uh, One Superior, like you're only ever going to use this card once. Sometimes you don't even use the effect to ritual summon from the like using it as the effect in the grave to ritual summon. Sometimes you're hard summoning the Skull Guardian using Meteonis, but when you do have like an additional Ben 10 and a low underneath from you beta, where you open like one name plus a low, um, then Superior actually comes up in that combo line. Two Skull Guardian, it's not the worst one to open because then you can go for like one name hands. When you have one name hands, if they impalm your low, at least you have a Skull Guardian. You can still get to the play with Meteonis and Mubeta sending like a Gamma, and then you get a Draco Future on top of that as well with a Skull Guardian Dynamondo setup. One Ceravis, one barrier. You don't want to open this. You're just placing it off low, and then there's just basic voiceless searching. Same with Prez, I mentioned earlier. You use it to summon the second Skull Guardian if they somehow out this one, and then Radiance because yeah, it's just voiceless
Because
stuff.
we go for Dynamondo, so we can set both
Yeah, so
in the
Dynamondo.
combo.
Uh, so one orange light because with the combo you can end on an orange light in hand. So like for example, I'd make a board and I'd get Dark Ruler, but I'd still have Radiance for like a pop two or a pop one, and I'd also have an orange light negate. So it's nice to just have an interrupt in hand because this deck can't really play hand traps. So being able to just search an interrupt uh, pairs like really well with this deck to play through board breakers. And if they're not playing board breakers and they hand trap you and you put up your board, then you'll just win in that match. One core buy, uh, shifter, yeah, it's core buy. There's like not much to be said there. Prep, just there to search all Ben 10s. Or if you open Ben 10, it can search Ceravis and it can search Skull Guardian. So even if you're going second,
And it can add a ritual spell
yeah,
back from grave.
it can add back the Meteonis. Um, but most of the times, like
The,
that's
the Meteonis, which or the prayer, which we can send with Saphira to grave.
yeah, but like you're usually like not opening both of them anyways. So
Yeah,
Saphira is always
true.
going to send one, but this is like if you open it, you search Ceravis, go in second, and it just helps you play through Princess or SP, like I mentioned earlier. It's really just there for an extra booster consistency. Three Dark Ruler. Now I know like some people aren't a fan of Dark Ruler, but you can only really afford to play board breakers in this build. Like you could argue to play Thrust over Dark Ruler, but I'm not trying to lose to like Flu, Cash, and sometimes if the Fire King players they'll if they know you're playing Drytron, they will actually set up an Apollosa. So this just deals with it. Like this deals with like the Appaloosa and the IP if they summon it. So it's not the worst card, but usually you have to pair this with like a really like good hand to push through the board and their hand traps. So um, the I like it, um, and especially like post side when you do put thrust in, you just see more copies. So I think Dark Ruler's a really good board breaker that pairs well with Drytron, especially when you can just Dark Ruler and then Natasha take the whole board and set up like a Skull Guardian negate because you're usually not going for game, but you set up your board pretty much after. Same with droplets. Droplets is really used well in this deck. You can just discard your names. You can like Nova, then chain or emergency chain droplets, deal with two negates. So this actually helps me break boards in Fire Kings. You can shut off the Apo and the IP, or you can shut off the Avata and like IP. So yeah, don't play hand traps. I know in the side there's some hand traps, but don't main deck hand traps. Um, because they're not really like they're not high impact enough for you to drop and then do your combo. You need something that can just deal with the board, go in second, and then just drop your Natasha and put your negates online. Prosperity. Now this is something I wasn't originally on, but Andrea here put me on prosperity. So maybe you want to explain your theory?
Well, the reason I told you to prosperity is because when I used to play Drytron, I used to brick a lot on the like 41, 42 card builds. I was like, let's up the main deck count so we brick less, and but we still need consistency at the same time, so we play prosp. And originally we also played cross out, and what we would do was prosp just instantly at the beginning of the turn search that cross out, dig it out from the top of the deck, because we only ever really lose to draw realistically. So that was our main concern. But since now draw isn't played that much, we don't play crossout anymore. But prosp is still good. If we want to search a board breaker or anything, like it just helps.
Yeah,
And it goes well with Dark Cooler anyway, because we're not gonna OTK anyway with prosp either, so we might as well like grab the Dark Cooler and negate the whole board.
definitely. I think like regardless of what build you're playing, if you're playing voices, voice Drytron, if you're playing pure voiceless or you're playing pure Drytron, I think prosperity is just mandatory in these type of decks, especially a ritual deck where you're inherently gonna brick because you don't want to open your rituals. So prosperity is literally there to help you fix that issue. And as Andrea said, like it pairs well with Dark Ruler going second. If they negate this, you got thrust, so you can just like get your Dark Ruler online anyways, and you're never gonna go for games. So I think prosperity is mandatory. I wouldn't play a Drytron deck or a voiceless deck without prosperity, in my opinion. And then yeah, talents. Not much to say here. You go first. you go first. They hand trap you. You can play through a Veiler, you can play through an Ash. Um, and then talents just like ensures that your combo is going to fully resolve. I'm usually never drawn with this card, um, because like obviously it might conflict with prosperity, but most of the time I have enough combo to play through on hand trap. So if they hand trap me, I'm just gonna talents look at their hand, and then you can sequence your negates and your interrupts to beat their hand. So that's it for the main deck. 45 cards. I don't think I would change anything at the moment. I really like the way this list has been running, main deck wise. So yeah, let's move on to the side.
No, the
Andre,
extra deck first, always.
okay, extra deck. Yo, current, cut that shit out. All right, let's go on to the extra deck. Oh,
Wait, no, you're Karen. Cut the shell. Alright, let's move on to the extra deck. We got Zeus, Downer, Double Mu Beta, of course.
yep,
Fuko, because we lose to Shifter or like troll
yeah,
otherwise. Uh,
yeah.
whatever.
Fuko's mandatory in my opinion. Like you don't want to lose to shifter, and sometimes you just need a turn to like come back into the game. So yeah,
Yeah, literally, because Russians got a really good like clap back game,
as soon as
Ifuni.
soon if as
So,
soon as you get to turn three, if you break like you're going for OTK. Like Drytron's always been one of those decks
yeah,
where you just need one more turn. So Fuko helps with that, and also it pairs well
literally.
with the side deck. But yeah, the
Now,
spikes.
F0. F0. So, this is the thing. When I was building this deck at the library in my uni, I was thinking like I had so many bodies with just alpha and zeta, and I made double mu beta to ritual summon both School Guardian and the Soravus. and I was like, now I have two XYZs on field. They don't do much. I could link them off theoretically, but there's not like that many good links I can go into because I've already got my IP and stuff. So I just decided to like find something good, and F-Zero came to mind, and it actually works really well with the silent voice, voiceless voice, sorry, continuous bow, because it can not be targeted by opponent's kind of effects either, because he's a light monster. Therefore, he becomes like kind of a towers as well, which is really nice,
Yeah.
especially when people are not playing board breakers.
Yeah. So you essentially have this towers that can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and because as long as you have barrier with the voiceless stuff set up, uh, they can't target it with imperm as well. So and also another really good thing is first of all this plays around Nib going first, and as an interrupt, it's when it negates, it takes control of the card. So against like Snake Eyes, a normal Ash, and you just take their Ash. Now they don't really have the extender, right? They have to go like Witch, pitch, and then you just negate that with your Skull Guardian, or you can just pop it if they don't pitch popular, and that's usually enough for game on its own, to be honest, from like what I found. And later in the combo tutorial, I'll show you how this helps you play around Nib and also set up your voiceless line with the trap with Dynamondo. Typhon, um, it's good against branded. Sometimes if you can't break the board fully, Natasha take, and then you just overlay their biggest monster with the Typhon. Um, it just helps you like push sometimes when you can't go for game. So I think Typhon is like, I don't know if I'd say it's mandatory, but it definitely helps out in the deck list a lot. And then we do one Appaloosa.
Because we spam a lot of bodies,
Yeah,
Borsod for OTK, Danamondo for the combo,
yeah.
IP, SP, Anima, they're all self-explanatory. Now, Borland,
I mean,
that's the question.
real quick, I would say for Anima, like there could be an argument play Link Karibo,
Yeah,
um, but I
but
just
like,
think, hmm?
sometimes you can catch your opponent lacking, like, they're
Yeah,
just playing to the Anima zone for no
I
reason,
like
you're
Link
like, yeah,
Karibo's
don't,
like never really gonna come up because most of the time you're using the Anima to link away, uh, like the you're linking away into Dynamondo anyways. Big boss
the
monster.
spies.
So real quick, it was
Because
either between this or Underworld Goddess. And this card is actually a towers. So yeah,
this, we play this because we can climb into this going second so easily with Natasha. And it's very hard to out for decks like Snake Eyes.
yeah. So
And
essentially, if
yeah,
Snake Eyes aren't playing Typhon, they don't have a way to out this because they're gonna go first. They're gonna have maybe imperm, but they're gonna use that on you during your turn. They're not gonna be playing the other Sinful that places a monster in the spawn trap card zone. So essentially, if you just make this and they're not playing Typhon, you can just sit on this, don't use any monster effects, and they have to draw into the imperm. But by the time they draw into the imperm, you've already got all your like you're probably going for game next turn anyways, because you've got all your resources set up, you've got all the Drytron names engraved, and whatever they summon, it's not going to be enough to beat over the Borland. Like maybe they could go for like an access code or a Zelantis into a Pyro Phoenix.
I think what you meant to say was when they draw into Imperm, you're already playing the next match.
Yeah, yeah, that's one way to put it. But yeah, Borland is like crazy. And I think it's just like because Underworld Goddess is just so easy to out. Like obviously it clears names off the board, but Borland like it's kind of like your Fuko going second in a sense. They like Fire King has a really hard time out in it, so why not play it? You have the flex spot. Like you can maybe experiment with something else, but I've won quite a lot of games just going for Borland and my opponent having no out to it. So yeah, that's the extra deck. Let's move on to the side. Andrea's worst nightmare, Artifact Lancia. So
I'm a Dragon Link player, that's why. So
basically, I'm not trying to lose to Flu. I'm not trying to lose to Cash. Like it's searchable. It's a one-off. Now with Lancia, like if you get de-shifted and you open like Alpha Zeta, essentially you can you you go Alpha, pitch Zeta, grab Benten, Zeta pitch Benten, grab Lancia, grab the Ritual spell, overlay for Fuko.
Wait. If you get shifted, right, and you've got Alpha Zeta, you have to tribute at Zeta unless you've got
Yeah,
two
sorry,
more names in hand to tribute.
sorry, my bad. You're actually correct. Yeah, if you basically if you have a way to get to two names on board, whether it be for a Nova or an Alpha tribute of Benten, you just go into Fuko, you search a Lancia, you drop the Lancia, and now they have to attack into your Fuko. And when you detach your materials, they'll actually go to the graveyard, so you have your follow up there, and you can uh, do play on the next turn. So I do like Lancia. Yeah, and now the this card has been like overperforming for me. So post side, uh, you're putting in like Phantasme and the Nibs together. Um, and Phantasme actually just helps you dig further into your board breakers, helps you put back any bricks you might open going second. And also, it's a level 7. So if this stays on the board, it can actually help you against Princess too. You don't mind the discard effect because you're just going to discard a name that you're going to summon back later anyways. And when you're, if you don't need it, you can just go ahead and tribute it for Superior and then summon your Skull Guardian. So like, if they don't interrupt this, you can just summon low, place barrier, barrier search, Superior search, and now you have a low and a Phantasme on the board, and then you can Superior, tribute the Phantasme, and now you have target and protection from the barrier and Omni Negate already. So I think Phantasme is really good, and also it helps you clear the Appaloosa because it forces them to go for that IP line early on. So you're dealing with like quite a few interruptions. They have to IP into the SP, they can't IP into the Appaloosa. Otherwise, you're just going to Phantasme crash. So yeah, that's Phantasme is like really good, and then Nib, it's just the most high impactful card to draw off. That's a hand trap in my opinion. And according to Kelly's theory, sometimes when you special the Phantasme, they'll use the temple to summon, and then you can just nib them. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
But why don't we play triple nib?
Just space really. Like you could
I mean, you can get one cosmic.
uh I don't know if I'd cut a cosmic, just because like there's so many floodgates, like summon limit and anti spell, and those are like those are like the real things I'm worried about. Um, you don't really have a way to play around summon limit or anti spell in this deck, so drawing your cosmics or your back row removal is like really mandatory, especially like in a high deck count. But you can maybe cut the evenly, but I do like evenly for those decks like Cash Flu, even branded if they don't set up the gimmick lock, they're actually really high impact. So yeah, pretty much your back removal. Triple Tactics Thrust. This card second just grabs you like anything you need. So if you already open consistent, you can just search a talent, rip a card out of the hand, or take. You can search Dark Ruler. You can search the prep, the emergency, and go in first. You side this in. You take out like the Dark Rulers, you can take out like a droplets, and then you put this and the Featherstorm in. And one hand trap is like, if they hand trap you and you have two way to get two names on board, GG's. Like I'm thrusting into this Featherstorm when you're losing. Because as soon as my turn comes back, like I'm going for OTK with like a with an orange light in hand. So nice try, Buckaroo. And then the one evenly match, thrust target. It's decent at breaking some boards that aren't Fire Kings.
Young Buck,
Young
young
Buck.
Buckaroo.